talk about that. Joining me now, David Marquet, who is a former United States Navy captain. And I assume, David, that you were very much listening to that press conference delivered by the US Navy in our evening our time, afternoon your time. But actually, it was an incredibly polished bit of communications, actually, the way they gave us the information that they have so far. But of course, there's still so much left to find out. In terms of the information that we do have about what happened to this vessel, were you surprised?
No, not really. I think this was the most likely scenario. I think what they were saying was that this implosion happened as the vessel was on its initial descent, an hour and 45 minutes into their journey to the Titanic. They hadn't quite reached it yet. They were still a little bit above it and off the bow of the Titanic when something catastrophic happened to the submarine. When they say catastrophic implosion, it is an instantaneous destruction of the vessel and instantaneous death for everyone on board. Probably they didn't even perceive that they were in danger, and then they were gone. And then the pieces end up on the seabed.
It's that, for some people I've heard sort of saying this evening, you know, we're clutching at straws here to try and find an outcome that is not as horrifying as we all hoped. And the instantaneous nature of it, some people say, that somehow provides some relief in knowing that. Let's talk a bit about the role of the US Navy in all of this, but I think quite interesting on this as well, something they pointed out in that press conference, is there's a few jurisdictions involved in this. There's people from Britain, there's people based in Dubai on the ship as well. That was Hamish Harding. The gentlemen who are British citizens were originally from Pakistan, Shahzada Dawood and Suleiman Dawood as well. So they were talking about the complication of this being far out at sea, but covering all these different sort of international bases. So how do you think the coordination of that mission has gone so far?
Yeah, it seems pretty heroic to me. It's complicated just because of the physics and the nature of the thing. It's a 2-hour airplane flight from Boston and an hour airplane flight from St. John, Newfoundland. There are at least four different countries involved in responding, including commercial entities. There's different government agencies. Navy's providing equipment. The Air Force is flying it. The Canadians are letting them land there and hushing them through customs. And so that sense of coordination can only be described as heroic and inspiring.
I agree with you there. I think I've been quite moved by the rapid assembly of all of these different, operations trying to rescue these men. We were getting reports already that some vessels and personnel are already being demobilized from the site. Of course, some equipment and some vessels will remain and do some of that search and rescue. But what do you think the coming days will be like in terms of the rest of that operation?
Well, we don't need the ships that are involved with, for example, there was a ship that had a hyperbolic decompression chamber. We don't need that anymore. I'm happy to see that some of the ships are remaining, especially the ones with the more capable ROVs. I'm hoping that they can collect the pieces of the submarine and bring it back to the surface where we can potentially be reassembled as much as possible and analyzed so we understand what was the defect or the flaw that caused the implosion on the way down.
Do you think we underestimate the power of the sea?
Yes, we definitely underestimate the power of the sea. People get in trouble at sea all the time. We underestimate the intensity of waves and we underestimate the pressure. For example, people were asking about recovery of the bodies. There's no bodies. I hate to say it, but there's no bodies to recover. This implosion is so rapid. It compresses, the air in your lungs is instantaneously compressed to something about this size. And then if there was anything left, it's been down there for a week. So I would be really, really surprised to see any bodies. We just don't, on our normal lives, we don't experience the kind of forces that we are subjected to at these depths in the ocean.
In our normal lives, we don't normally learn so much either about oceans for the rest of us and about the Navy and about the operations. Look, Captain David, it's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you.